Hey, what's up, everybody? Hopefully, everyone can hear me. Looks like all indications are yes, everyone can hear me. So, what we're doing today is creating custom t-shirts graphics for Gray Bros Graphic Tee. I may or may not have someone joining me who you may or may not know from the recent streams, but yeah, getting ready to get started. Just in a second here, going to give folks a few, maybe another minute to sign on while I share the stream and send out just a few invites. Not that it really matters if anybody streams along, but if you have questions, that might work out great. Um, Hope everyone's doing well out there. I just got back from screening Robert Rodriguez says Alita, and boy, is it awesome. If you're like me and into 3D art and animation and motion capture and things of that nature, it is fantastic. I'm probably going to go see it again. And I don't often repeat view films, but that one, there's just so much. I like to say that it really kind of does finally cross the uncanny valley. uh, they have to decide to make things not look too human. But it's, basically cyborgs doing really badass martial arts maneuvers and a pretty compelling story as well. So that's pretty awesome. Um, so the subject of this tutorial, of course, as mentioned in the title, is Graybro's graphic tee customization, and I misspelled. No, I didn't. Okay. Uh, the reason that I came up with doing this template is because when I released this product at Renderosity, speaking of Renderosity, let me show you guys some cool stuff that folks have made. The whole idea behind this shirt is that you can kind of customize it and make it your own, um, whatever kind of graphic. This is just an incredible render right here by Vicky. Wow. And I was really crazy. Oh, I still am crazy about Rush, but I was really, really into them. And I actually saw the tour for this album back in the day. So that's really cool. And it's funny, I had no idea she's going to make that. But yeah, the some of the graphics have been really, really dope, as the kids say. And that's the whole idea. The shirt is just designed with a template. It just shows you how to place graphics, not just here, but also on the back. And hopefully, I'm going to expand it to make it, other shapes like short sleeve, half shirt, maybe torn, ripped, torn. I don't know. Just depends on if enough folks purchase it. And yeah, it's like the idea is just, make it say whatever you want it to say. You hate Trump, but I hate Trump. You love Trump and hate Hillary, put that. You love Obama, put that. Whatever. Make your statement artistically. um, so yeah, this is basically it's you can pick whichever version here, and there's some pretty cool things already out there. Let's see. I think I had some other shares. I'll tell you what. Before we get too far into that, I'll just show you what I have in mind for today. So classic concert T-shirts was the inspiration behind this, and I, like a lot of folks, was that guy at the concerts purchasing that $35 T-shirt that you can only get at the concert and wearing it. And I've always been a particular fan of Iron Maiden, so I thought it might be an interesting task to try to reproduce this shirt using the provided template which comes along with the shirt. So just so we can kind of see what we're looking at here. Oh, it's the new layout of Photoshop. I tell you what, they're always changing it, and I'm not a fan of some things changing. Um, so I'm obviously just selecting that and backfilling it, and here you can kind of see the spots. Um, it's just for your own alignment. So now, guys, the idea, of course, originally I had 30 presets that came with this shirt, and of course, Renderosity took exception to the fact that I used look-alike logos for things like the Evil Dead. I used the Evil Dead font. I did not use the official Evil Dead logo, so I felt like that was permissible. But you know what? The idea is for you to make your own anyway. So in this case, I am going to actually copy a copyrighted image, but it's for fan art. So I'm not selling that. You can do the same with whatever graphic you want to use. And the thing is, you don't have to have ginormous graphics for it to work out because it's not a giant space. If you look at the size of the graphic, you're talking about A very small graphic indeed. I'm just going to see what that spits out to, that actual size. Looks like it's something like 935 by whatever, roughly 935 square. Um, that's just for placement, so it doesn't really matter in this case. All right, so I'm not going to stop to talk about Photoshop function. I presume most of you guys kind of know that. You know, you just copy the image, paste the image in, figure out how you're going to work with it. That image is actually a little small, but this image is kind of like the max size for that image. So let's say we'll just put this theory to the test. So I have a tiny image that I can use, which is not all that tiny, just that the template is large. I believe we can get away with this. Let's try this. So we're going to decrease the template in size by 50%. Just make it 2096. Okay. All right. Now we've copied that same image we pasted in now. Suddenly it appears, wait a minute, let's just make sure that that's correct. I'm going to go back and forgive me for stopping here to double check that I didn't resize the image in the cache. Nope, I didn't. Let's see, do a little view. Still looks okay. So let's just kind of trim it up, get the part we want to work with. So what I think I want to work with is right here. Oh, this is a fan club exclusive t-shirt, apparently. Seventh son of a seventh son. Seventh son of a seventh son. I was way into them. I remember I was so passionate about Iron Maiden at the time that I was at a record store here in a mall in town that's basically since closed down. It was one of the most recent mall that we had. Malls kind of went out of vogue in this part of the country, even the big ones. But I was so passionate about it. And you know what? Before I resize this, I'm going to have to size it up a little bit. I want to go ahead and grab the back piece too, just so I can size them together so they'll uniformly be sized, if that makes any sense to you. But I was sitting there, and some jackhole was talking to the guy at the counter, and he had read something in a magazine about it. It was so controversial because Iron Maiden had decided to put keyboards for the first time on a record, and Seventh Son of a Seventh Son was that record. And he's like saying just off the cuff loose stuff, and he said something to the order of, "Man, I'm not gonna get that album. It sucks. We play keyboards on that. I mean, like it's even an issue." And I was just like, "Dude, you better watch your mouth." I actually said that. Okay, so we're gonna put these two together, and we'll just group them, call them logos, or just call it group logo. New group from hidden layers, logo. Um, yeah, it really upset me. So with that group selected, I'm going to size down here. Just going to see the sample graphic. I know that I need it to be roughly that size. Okay, so I'm going to go with, let's put this one over it and then just not have it visible. Okay, so I'm going to go with the whole group. Free transform. Big fan, though. I did see this tour, actually, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son tour. I saw it, and ever since that time, my general attitude has been Iron Maiden, greatest band there ever was or ever will be. I just don't find the musicianship and the match of a front man and the musicianship overall in other bands that I've seen some great bands, you know, don't get me wrong, but those guys they were just killing it at the time. And that was the classic Adrian Dave dueling guitar lineup. They have an extra guitar player now, as far as I know. The guy's great, but you know, I don't know that, like, I mean, he's part of the classic lineup. I mean, I guess by now he is. He's been in it long enough. But so we're gonna get this T-shirt color from this, and then it's gonna be interesting to see how we go about getting those sleeves colors. But we're gonna get them. Believe that, player. Believe that. So if we go back to our original T-shirt image, we can kind of make it easier on ourselves. So there's two ways to change the coloration of this shirt. One is the diffuse overlay weight, which is a great diffuse overlay weight and diffuse overlay color, um, which is a great way to do it. But in this case, I'm going to try to do it with the texture. All right, down there. And just, I want to deselect everything but those sleeves, which they're quite short. I almost wish I had made this a long sleeve shirt, and that might be something for the future. Make a long sleeve version of this with just some different um, things. Like, I wouldn't mind having a hoodie. But anywho, so we got that. I'm just gonna make a separate layer so I can isolate those sleeves, and I'll call it sleeves. I probably should update this template with that too. So those are already selected. So we'll do that. Up, screwed up. Okay, I didn't do that right, obviously. That's what we want to do right there. Okay, so now we got to get down and dirty on these logos, on these graphics right here, and make sure that they. So just one more time, checking the sample. I still feel like I can make those a little bigger. I'm going to try that now. See if I can make it just a little bigger without blowing it out too bad. Now, obviously, if I searched, I probably could find this logo out there in a slightly larger format. But, you know, we're going to be kind of re-rendering it anyway, so the fuzziness, I don't believe, is going to be an issue. So let's turn off the sample graphic. We got that isolated. Just name it for convenience. Front maiden. And we will use our selection tool here to select. Oh, that's dirty. We can't have it that dirty. How about 15? Too much. How about we go 5? That's getting closer to what we want to do there. Doesn't have to be perfect, just close enough for rock and roll. Speaking of, that's a John Mellencamp song cover, song title, by the way. Speaking of John Mellencamp apparently is doing a tour this year, and he's coming to my town. I've always been a big fan. I really wanted to see him. I went to check on tickets, $300, and I'm like, dude, you know, you just found your way off of that list of people that I feel like I have to see. I mean, I'm going to see Clapton when the opportunity arises, which he doesn't typically tour in this part of the country. But if he ever tours here again, I've just, I've made the decision I'm going to go see him. And yeah, $300, man. John Mellencamp, you ain't that big, boss. You in your heyday, you didn't command that kind of price. I just saw Bob freaking Dylan, for in the same venue that he's going to be in. It's a small auditorium, and I paid like $70 for that or something. I think with the fees and everything, it was $100. $325, $350 for some of these seats with Mellencamp. And I'm like, I know the deal. It's like he's married Meg Ryan now, and she's spending all his money. That's like wife number 4, which God knows how much money that dude's wasted on wives. But I digress. Yeah, I won't be able to see him at that price. Well, I mean, I could do it, but I'm not gonna. That's like 2 shows. I don't know. I'm kind of like a loyalist. Like, I kind of wanted to see Fleetwood Mac, but they apparently kicked Lindsay out. For Friday Night Fun Time. This is JD Strider, by the way, guys. There we go. Y'all know him, the ever popular. Oh, here we go. What's up, stranger? You are on live stream with Disciple3D.
Hey, how's it going, Brett?
Man, it's going well. I had a really stressful week, but I am doing so great now. I'm so happy to be like off kind of like duty for the weekend. I can't even tell you. How about yourself?
Pretty much the same. Yeah, we've been major project under tight timelines, working stupid hours, 2 months of it, and we finally deployed on Friday. So, yeah, it's kind of a bit of a relief.
Part
Anyway.
part of my stress is that that unfortunately, like I'm in a new role similar to old roles, but this one is more of a uh, user accept or not sort of like testing of new functionality for a distributed authorship base. I used to be in that authorship base, and that's kind of how I came into this job. But there's a lot of creative thinking required, and instead of just having to know one tool really well, you have to be able to be basically competent in like about a dozen tools, half of which are hand coded. So like the guys with the Coke bottle glasses made those. So like there's 5, 6 different kinds of navigation, and their big thing is, oh, we've got this documented, and I'm like, it's true, you have most of it documented by a single person who's an expert in doing this job for 4 years, and it's all, man, when I say it's all over the place, and it's like you can't tell them, hey, well, so like the boss says, how's it going with your training? I'm like, well, there's a lot of content to ingest, but it is rather abstract, and like they took offense at me saying that, and I was like, what do you mean abstract? I'm like, I mean, it's abstract. It does not follow a straight linear path, and so I'm just now starting to like it's starting to come into focus. But wow, I mean, I've been there 6 weeks, and it's like usually by now I'm on top of it. It's either that or I'm getting old, man. I don't know.
Oh well,
My
don't discount that possibility. Yeah.
my mind does not soak it in the way that it used to, and
Discount that it
possibility.
loses flexibility
My
as we age.
Yeah, that's caused me great consternation.
There
Cool.
you go.
Looks like no one is in the live chat right now, so all of our bullshitting does not matter apparently. But
Fair enough.
I'll tell you what I'm doing tonight. Did you get the shared link to the folder with the graphic tee?
Shared link to the folder with the graphic. I saw an email come through from you.
Yeah, you should have the two products that I just released, as well as the one that I just submitted, which is the jeans that go with it. But what I'm trying to do tonight, and it might actually be kind of fun, is I'll make like a rock and roll T-shirt, and you make a different one. I presume you're gonna make Rush. I'll make Iron Maiden,
Okay, fair enough.
and we'll
What
switch
the heck
back.
is this thing you're seeing here? Add to Dropbox. Signed in. Oh, I'm signed into the wrong freaking account. Of course.
Yeah, I wish somebody was on so I could ask how our levels are. I've got a brand new, really nice Bluetooth headset right now, so I imagine I'm loud, but you sound very loud in my ear. But then again, that just might be that I've got my speakers. You know what? Let me do that. I have my speakers on 100%. That's crazy. So anyway, back. I'll just keep working while we're chatting, and you let me know when you have your template up and you're making yours. But what I'm talking about, and like originally when I released this, I mentioned earlier that I had included like I used like the official font, but I didn't exactly copy the logo. I just got like a lookalike, and Rendo was not having that. So like I was using the Evil Dead font to write the Evil Dead, and they were like, "Oh, it's
uh-huh.
official logo. Send us your paperwork to use this." And I was like, "Settle down. It's not the official logo." But you know what? It's not the whole point of this product is to be able to customize it and put whatever you want, including copyrighted content, just for fan purposes. So I thought, let me
Mhm.
just take that out and not fight that battle, and then I can do a tutorial um, later and just kind of, you know,
What
the whole
the heck?
point is to make your own graphic.
Right.
No clone stamp. So I heard you got a new toy to play with.
Oh, I did.
Have you jammed out on it yet?
I got her plugged in, played with a few settings, got it tuned up, jammed through a few of the tunes that I could remember how to play. My arm got sore, my hand got sore. I went, oh, okay, that's
Well,
an hour and a
supposedly
half's
that
enough.
that that model is supposedly easier on your arm
It's
because of the
beautiful. It's
taper.
like butter. Yeah, it's just like butter.
Butter,
It's.
butter.
I picked it up. I went in looking at Strats and Telecasters and tried a few of those, an American, a Japanese, deluxe, a standard, and the prices vary anywhere from $1,000 up to $3,000. And it's like, oh, okay. Then I just noticed this thing out of the corner of my eye, this Gibson over there, and I went, I wonder what that is. I went over and looked at it. Beautiful, all walnut with the rosewood fretboard on it. Pulled it down
I
off the
do love
rack.
that. I do love that. I mean, that unpainted walnut look is very.
Oh,
I do like it quite a bit.
me too. I really like the look of it. I picked it up, set it on my lap, and put my fingers on the fretboard and went, oh, that just feels right. It just felt beautiful, right?
As a matter of fact, two of my buddies are actually playing at the place that I play at quite often, Little Tokyo Lounge tonight at in about 2 hours. I think I'm going to pop out there and see them for a bit. Sorry about that. My wife is going to come through.
No worries. No worries.
And I didn't unmute my mic, so sorry about that, guys. I was my wife is coming through, and I knew she was going to chat, and I just didn't want that on here. So what I'm doing right now is just going through and cleaning up the thing. You aren't seeing my screen, are you?
I am not. I'm trying desperately to get into Dropbox here. It's just being really stupid. Okay.
Stupid.
Go to folder. Okay, I'm going to folder. Come on.
Weirdness. I'm getting
Go
some
to
weirdness
folder.
with my
Hey, there we go. Okay, now we're in.
cool.
Too many accounts. That's the problem.
Oh man, yeah, I know. I know exactly what you mean.
All right. So, there you go. Okay. That's fine.
So we had talked about me going to Nashville, right? Had I actually went to Nashville the last time we got up on the stream?
Yes, you had. Yeah, you just got back from
Yeah,
Nashville.
that project is getting very close to being completely recorded. I have not mixed it yet, but the local guy here that's doing my backing vocals, he went and did the last 5 songs, I think on Tuesday. So it's just a matter of my co-producer in Nashville giving it a listen and seeing if he wants anything else, and then it'll go to mix. And I'm super chuffed about that, as you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Sounding pretty good, man. You know, to make yourself sound, if you're an average singer like myself, you got to get a really great backup singer, and I did that. So that, that's going to make me sound better.
Well, it can. It definitely will. Yeah.
I just tried to, and since that time, you probably don't know who Radney Foster is, but I had a chance to go see him at a very small venue. That was like super inspiring, super inspiring.
Right on.
We're still forging through massage school, and the little Puerto Rican guy that teaches the one class, apparently the one night we decided to take off, he had gotten his ass chewed about not taking roll, which he doesn't, and decided to try to make an example of us. He ended up making my wife cry, being so rude to her. And I basically was like, dude, you better take the bass out of your voice right now. You have the body of a 14-year-old. And like I actually took her in the other room, and I said the only reason I didn't stomp his ass right then is because I think you want us to finish here. I was like, because if you tell me that's not the case, I will go in there and burn his little ass down right now.
Oh my
First by
God.
demanding that he apologize, and then when he doesn't, just whooping his ass. It was that kind of situation, man. I hadn't even been talked like that since high school. It's crazy, man. I don't know who the fuck he thinks he is, but man, dude. I mean, I'm not a violent guy either. You know what I'm saying? It's like, cuss in front of my mom or my wife, you vulgar in a certain way, and that'll get me like that, And
Uh-huh. Yeah.
it's the
Well,
second.
there are certain lines you shouldn't cross, right? You and I are very similar that way.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot
I'm
of
like,
stuff rolls off my back like water off a duck, but some things,
yeah,
no.
absolutely. He's like an insecure little dude, and I mean, I'll just, you know what? I mean, not that there's anything wrong with marrying somebody that's got kids, but I'm just gonna like paint a picture for you here.
Okay.
He's about to get married to a girl that's 10 years older than him. She's got 3 kids, none of them his, ages like, like 8, 14, and like 17. And I'm like, yeah, so you're marrying a chick doesn't make good money, in a situation where she really needs somebody like you, but the fact that you're just ponying up to raise somebody else's kids, that tells me a little something about you. I think it's like his awkwardness. If you're not awkward around him, it's like he kind of perceives it as like a competition for attention or something weird like that. I don't know
Ah,
exactly, but I just know I tried very, very hard to be friends with the guy and be friendly toward him at the very least, because he struck me as
uh-huh.
a guy that like is not like well accepted everywhere. And she had given all the other students in our class a gift, and he had kind of acted one time like he really liked this hand massager that we brought, and so she remembered that and she gave him a gift. And because he knew he was going to chew us out to kind of like justify his own screw ups, he gave the gift back, and he was really, really rude about it. And I was like, bro, I have literally punched people in the face for doing less than acting not as rude as you were just now. And he's trying to tell me, don't be trying to act badass. I was like, dude, in your world, I am the baddest motherfucker you know. I mean, I am a badass. There ain't no acting involved. I mean, the guy's like maybe
Ah, ah.
5'1". He's got the body of a 14-year-old. Like, I'm serious. I mean, like, to be thinking you're gonna be talking heavy. I'm just like, I don't even know how to react when somebody's that ridiculous. I'm like, huh? For real?
Yeah, well, I've run into a few of those over the years, and most are exactly as they appear, right? They're exactly what they look like.
Yeah,
And every once in a while, you find one that's not, right? They got the body of the
yeah.
14-year-old, and they're a little flaky little thing that you look like you could knock over with your pinky.
And they're total
And
they're a total Anderson Silva. Is that where you're going?
you got it, man. It's
Well,
like,
dude, I'm gonna tell
oh,
you what. If that dude
don't
ever
F
whoops,
with that.
if that dude ever whoops my ass, I'll eat my shirt. I for sure will eat my shirt. Yeah, it's just
As I
kind of.
say, it's very rare, but
Well, he just has a lot. It's weird because like he told us all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, he just when he's teaching class, he gets into like the personal stuff a lot, and then to come off like
mm,
like he does. But one of the things he told us was that he was a manager at where was it? McDonald's. Okay, he was a manager at McDonald's, and he was not supposed to be doing it, and he even said that. But he dated. He basically agreed to date a another employee there that was technically under him. And he was like, that was against the rules. So they had talked to him about it, and they said, look, we're going to make an exception this time. We're not going to like fire her, but you're not supposed to do that. And he said, okay, and
mhm,
but then apparently they fired her anyway, and he went and in protest supposedly he quit right when he came on shift and made the other manager have to stay and do a double shift, right? Then, according to him, she calls the police and accuses him and his other friend who worked there of stalking her. He ends up having to spending all of this money, gets arrested, has to spend all this money on a lawyer to get out of it, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But at the end, he's exonerated. That's the story. And now I'm starting to. I'm like, did you? Maybe he actually did it. You know what I mean?
mhm, hmm. So I don't know. People that share stories like that, yeah, what's the purpose?
Uh,
Why would you want to share that with a bunch of people you barely know or don't really know?
Talk about awkward. Another of the instructors there basically told us in the first 60 seconds of starting the orientation class that she was molested by a family member. And I thought, holy shit, things that
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to
again,
share. I mean, of course I have sympathy for sure, but Jesus, why would you ever want to share that?
yeah, I don't know. I always look a little sideways at individuals that do shit like that because it's just illogical. It doesn't make sense to me that you would just blindly share
Right.
that kind of information with anyone,
Well, it almost is.
right?
It's you have to ask yourself, and I'm not saying that's the case in her case. I mean, her mother certainly believes it happened because she, of course, overshared on that too. But I would never want to be the guy not believing somebody that actually, had gone through something so horrific. So
Oh,
obviously, I'm
agreed,
I'm gonna
agreed.
err. I'm gonna err on the side of of caution. But
Uh
it
huh.
makes me at least wonder, and I think it's fair if if that's not like an attention seeking behavior. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I call it. You know,
It's very strange at the very least. I don't think it's what the average person would do.
no, it's not normal. Let's put it that way. It's just not normal. Okay.
Okay, so to all those people not watching who might watch in the future, I just wanted to share that what I'm doing right now is basically just setting up the texture that I just created. And I mean, you can always refine these textures, if you want. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I don't have to be perfect. Okay, so I gotta make sure I put that texture in the right place, and I'm starting to wonder if I didn't put it in the wrong folder. But let's figure it out. Not in that folder. Sample graphic T. It needs to be right there, but I don't think it is there. I'm gonna just in the other screen. I'm gonna save it to that right folder.
What's the link to the share?
the,
Can't.
okay, hang on, hold on. I'll give it to you. It's Scraper's graphic T, Men's Beefy T sample graphic. Scraper's graphic. Oh, I was in the wrong folder. That's the problem. Haha. 1 second, and I'm just gonna save it. Make sure I save this in the right place, and I'll send you the
Yeah,
direct
no
link.
problem.
There we go. There's Maiden. Okay, boom. Iron Maiden. All right, cool. And I'm gonna switch over, guys. Just 1 second. Let that spin for a minute, and I'm gonna get you your T-shirt direct link. Huh? Weird. So the link didn't take you there. That's odd.
Well, the email link took me to the Dropbox where I downloaded all the stuff, all the content from. I'm talking about the link to the share you're doing right now, so I can see what you're
Gosh,
doing.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood you. I'm going to message that link into the window, and then we'll be rocking and a rolling. Weird. That's not what I intended to send. Hold on. Copy.
Yeah, the wrong thing on the clipboard.
That's right. Boom. Shakalaka. See if that gets you there. I think that'll do it.
Oh, that'll probably work much better. Yeah.
Yeah, just remember to mute it. I forgot to do
I
that
will.
earlier.
I will. Okay.
So, see, like at a basic, at a real quick version, that's not half bad. I'm starting to kind of like that. And what I'm going to do is share this on Share CG once I finish tweaking it.
Mm-hmm.
Need to adjust the. One thing I will point out is that this T-shirt has a whole bunch of morphs for making it fit things like different shapes and whatnot, and you can. So I believe expand back is this one. Nope. Let's go with expand all maybe. There we go.
Expand
Cool.
waist.
I think I have a sleeve flare. So I'll read you the chest area thicken, chest area widen, expand back, expand chest, expand shoulder left, expand shoulder right, expand all, sleeve flare left and right, snug body for undershirt. That's if you want to tuck the jeans into the pants. Torso shift left, torso shift right, waist area thicken and waist area widen. So okay, I'm feeling pretty good about that one. So and it's funny because I actually realize now that I in this case you can see when I developed this product that I actually just created the materials the first time and just rendered the thumbnails with the female shirt. And in this early development version of the folder, all of the male materials have the female. The shirt has boobs on it. So obviously I'm gonna set up a camera now just to render the thumbnail. Actually, I might want to just start a new thing altogether. I lost my development. Maybe I didn't lose it, but like I couldn't find it. My development version of the scene. I don't know how you do that. When I have my thumbnail on my camera just tweaked out just so. I don't want to lose that, so sometimes I save it in a little scene folder in the development folder. And it looks like maybe I had already deleted all that stuff because I've already released this. And yeah, there's no scene folder there. Scenes. Well, I need to save the preset regardless. So Graybird, Genesis State Mail, Graybird Graphic T. I'll just save it right here, and I'm going to call it. Let's see, what was that actual tour that I'm advertising? I think it's Seventh Son. It's it's fan club exclusive for Bulgaria. I'm going to call it Iron Maiden Bulgaria, if I can spell Bulgaria. And I'll go back and kind of. I also probably should make that like a square dimension. Man, that Alita was really good. I didn't realize that Robert Rodriguez had directed it. He's on point. So material preset, Iron Maiden, Bulgaria. Okay, guys. So what you're seeing here is I'm just selecting the parts of the materials that I want to save, and that's all good. Just kind of comparing it to the image in the other view. Seems like the sleeves, sorry for that. Seems like the sleeves are a darker blue, so I'm gonna do a little customization of the material just by grabbing the cuff edges and sleeves, and I'm gonna give it a, I think I'm gonna give it a diffuse overlay weight. Once you start adjusting the overlay weight, a diffuse overlay color comes up. Just gonna try to get a blue that's suiting me a little bit better, and then I can start adjusting how much that color applies by moving the diffuse roughness to the right, and then just letting the IRA render take over. And I'm sorry, not diffuse roughness, diffuse overlay weight. That's not doing a whole heck of a lot, is it?
Not so far.
Wonder if I drop this from just those two, just see what happens. Ooh, didn't do anything there, did it? I'll go back to that. Back here. It's basically the same thing. I don't know that that's doing anything different. I would just have to get a darker color, I guess. That's getting closer right there, actually. That looks about like it. I'm going to resave that preset. Just grab the shirt again. Boom. And of course, I'll pretty it up and render the thumbnail in another session, and I'll upload that to Share CG as in a pack of freebies, you know, which presumably
Cool.
they won't kick me out for. Yes. Okay, cool. So what fabulous design are you building?
What am I? Oh, honestly, I was in the process of working on our storage facility.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, by all means. I mean, you know, by all means. Let's see. Maybe I'll make another Iron Maiden. I like the Iron Maiden European designs. It's like they spend more money on the European designs. I don't know why, but they do. Oh God, that's super cool. Let me show you guys what I'm looking at by switching back to screen. Render B. Nope. Screen 1. Nope. Screen 2. Okay, so screen 2 gotta be. My goodness. I'm realizing that I didn't set up this the right way to make it easy to switch from one to the other, so I'm having to do it the old-fashioned way, manually. Okay, there we go. That's what I'm looking at right there, guys. That's appealing to me on a number of levels of badassery. So I'm just gonna cancel out of this and save this.
yeah, that's got some serious badass going on.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
I don't need that in this case. So I'm gonna just go with black, I believe, on that. Yeah, you know, old Derek Riggs that did um, all those Eddie illustrations.
Mm-hmm.
He had a big falling out with them. I don't know if you're aware of that. He felt
No, I was
he
not.
he felt like they didn't compensate him properly because he, I think designed the character and drew it for so long, and then I guess at some point they were like, you're not worth the money or whatever. They're going to get another guy to draw it, which I'm sure the guy drew it great, but they kind of got rid of the original guy, and
Mm,
that sort of sucks. I mean, he still draws Eddie, like at conventions and stuff, and for fans, but I mean, like he's not up on Maiden anymore. Too bad.
hmm.
I'm sure there's three sides to every story.
Oh, there always is. There always is. At least three.
I've met that Doug Jones guy that plays Hellraiser, uh,
Uh huh.
the main Cenobite. And
Yeah.
I mean, in the context of I just met the guy and everything, he's okay, but he's real super standoffish. And like, my buddy wanted to interview him for our website, and eventually he acquiesced to, but he was like, "What's it for?" He was like, "Really, really, really," and he does it for a living. I mean, that's what he does for a living. Go to these conventions and have fans take pictures with him, and which it's a good living too, from what I understand. Um,
Probably is.
but yeah, it kind of turned me off a little bit. I was like, man, he's not the nicest guy. But then again, they're doing that all the time. I mean, I've met much bigger stars like George Romero who were super friendly. Oh, Elvira was awesome, man. She
Mm-hmm.
was like real accom. Of course, everybody's there to more or less kiss your ass, myself included. And
Mm-hmm.
I can understand. But
Well, there. I would imagine to a degree, depending on how much of it they do, it probably wear on you after a while.
let me break this down for you, okay? They get the big stars like Elvira get guarantees, and me and
Mm-hmm.
they had given us some information, kind of like behind the scenes and stuff, because we were friends with the promoter, and so we got an idea of what her guarantee was, and they're like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, we won't have to pay that. She'll make that and more, and I'm like, no shit, dude, she can make like $140,000 in a 3-day weekend signing. She'll sign as and do pictures and sign, and then also sell her own merch as herself and also as Elvira on different days. Right? She is
Mm-hmm.
so loved by the fans that they will pay both days. And I personally waited in line for almost an hour and 45 minutes. There were people that waited like all day.
Yep. See,
Yep, not bad
now
work when
help.
you can get it.
Not bad work if you can get it. There you go. Yep.
She still looks like she always did, and I mean, congrats to
I
her.
I cannot believe how good she looks. Like out of makeup and just her,
Oh
just
yeah, no,
standing there.
she's taking care of
She's
herself.
damn. Yeah. I mean, all done up like Elvira. I bet she
Yeah,
looks as
yeah,
exactly the same.
practically exactly the same. Like there's no
Yeah.
wrinkles or any. Of course, she's wearing a ton of
Yeah.
makeup, but and you can tell she's a bit older, but she still looks really good. Like as herself. She's obviously, I don't know if she's a vegetarian or what, but she's done a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're gonna go Grayboy Graphic T sample graphic, and we're gonna call this Maiden. Iron Maiden 2 is this texture. Stay very generic. I got to switch off and do other bands. Make a nice little pack of 5 or 10 of these.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's turn that off. Okay. What other bands have really killer graphics? Metallica?
Metallica's not bad.
Roll the bones. Roll the bones. You know what? I
Oh,
could
go
just.
go old school. Go try and find something from Whitesnake.
Oh, that is more old school than I would have went. Let's see here. They're coming. They're coming to this area soon. I don't know how much the original guys it is. Um,
Probably not many.
advanced search. I was more impressed with the fact that the guy was nailing Tony Katane at the time than their music. But
Fair enough.
I didn't dislike them. I love that song. Here I go again on my own.
It's their one claim to true fame.
That's basically their Eye of the Tiger.
It got it. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's
That's it.
funny. Oh, there's a I'm not coming up with as many clean designs to steal, but let me see here.
Yeah.
T-shirt. Let me make logo. That might make it a little bit better. Going down the only road I've ever known. Oh, there's a really good Chicago one. You and me.
Yeah. Okay.
Man, I don't. Ooh, there's. Oh, that's not them though. It's just a really cool. Is that their logo? This hip hop splicing tee.
This one, of course, I can't point at the mouse, but the snake wrapped around the medallion.
That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah, that's where I'd go.
That one's probably ready made to do it too. So let's do it. Let's make the levels a little darker to kind of match up what I got going on here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Monday I'm off. It's interesting. This time was the contractor. They're doing this thing where every contractor has to take off at least 7 days on a 7-8 month contract for personal time, not paid. Like, huh? I didn't. Wait a minute. You want me to like not work? I mean, come on, dude. The whole point of contracting is like you get to call me when you need me. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, it's ridiculous.
Well, a lot of North American companies are starting to adopt European style employment contracts and contracting. In Europe, there are, I'm not going to say a majority, but very, very close to half of the companies are 4-day work weeks.
What?
Oh yeah,
That's
oh yeah.
wild. But then
They're
does like Tuesday become like your Monday and Thursday become like your Friday? Like I'm curious.
well, it's what they're doing is they're focusing more on um, ensuring a balance between work and life, right? Making sure people don't
Yeah, I mean
sink
I get
all of their
that.
time, energy, and everything into their job and don't have a life, right? It's a lot about family. It's about mental health. It's about so they'll work 4 days, but they work 10 hours per. So they're still working a 40-hour work week,
That
and
actually
then
is
they get.
not. I wouldn't mind that myself.
I wouldn't mind
I
it
do
at
9 hour
all.
days anyway. If you count my
Yeah.
commute, it's 10 hour days.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. What's another cool logo, guys, for making a custom shirt? Uh, I'm doing a metal theme this time. This whole pack has to be like metal. Um,
Well,
Queensryche. How you spell Queensryche?
Queen's Reich, Queen R Reich, Riech.
I guess correctly. It's
Oh yeah.
Reche. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
T-shirt
Okay.
logo. Okay. Let's see if this is. Man, I saw their Operation Mindcrime tour with Metallica. Talk about a kick-ass show. That was a seriously kick-ass show. I was very impressed. Um, it did not suck. They were kind of like at their most intense, and Metallica's always great. I mean, what are you gonna say?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
probably they're probably the greatest metal touring band as far as like the level of performance you get. So
Mm-hmm.
intense with those guys. They were just at that time they were just absolutely destroying it. That ain't gonna work. It's too small. Keep on searching. It's right. Let's just go with logo and see if I can get a better one. It's right. Oh, ooh, a lot of good stuff. Operation Mindcrime is one of my all-time favorite albums, and I can't say they're one of my favorite bands, but that album is genius. A hitman for the order, working overtime. So good. Holy shit, that was a great album. I need to download. I need to download that and listen to it again, man. That was amazing. Hopefully we won't. Hopefully we won't get our video removed because I sang that.
Hopefully not.
Let's
Hopefully
see.
not.
Let's see here.
Uh,
Operation Mindcrime was the one I need to go for as a homage. Operation Mindcrime logo, and let's go into advanced. Make it extremely large, larger than 2 megabytes. I mean 2 megapixels. Sorry. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. We're getting into some stuff now. Yeah, that's a killer tune. 30 years later. That can you believe Operation Mindcrime is 30 years old?
I
Jeez,
know.
what has
I
happened
know.
to us? We have become
We
old.
have become the old people.
Oh my.
There's so many. Okay, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Slayer, Anthrax, Def Leppard. Do you need more ideas?
Def Leppard.
Helix.
If I don't like the band, I can't do this. But
Oh, okay, fair enough.
but
Fair
Def
enough.
Leppard for sure. I mean, I wasn't a giant fan of them, but they are one of the
No,
most
no, but
classic. They're one of the
absolutely.
most classic bands. They're not exactly heavy metal, but they're big. They're big, big,
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
My Maiden, yeah, Judas Priest. They probably got some pretty iconic logos. Oh, Ronnie James Dio. Got to do that. Got to do Black Sabbath.
Yeah. Of
Oh
course, you
man,
got to do Black
this is
Sabbath.
freaking easy. Easy peasy. Man, that
Sweet.
Mindcrime. Have you ever listened to Mindcrime? That is just a killer album. I don't know how Canadian it was received, but yeah.
I'm familiar with bits and pieces of it. I don't own the album, but I know of the album and I know songs off of it. But let's see, what the hell else have we got here?
How's it coming with the um, storage
Oh,
facility?
it's I'm making progress. Right now I'm just trying to find some good iRay settings for these materials.
Oh yeah.
Right,
How's the fence working out in the iRay? Have you got that far yet?
I haven't got to it yet. Actually, I've just started on the iRay stuff. I fixed up the 3 to light. A lot of it was looking for files in a user directory on Rebecca's computer, so I had to fix that
Oh
up.
man, that's
So,
crazy. That is
so,
crazy. That's so
so
crazy.
anyway,
Uh,
got that stuff all straightened through.
he'll laugh when I tell him that. Yeah, I mean, so you're gonna do 3 to light textures as well, or are you just doing
Well,
iRay?
well, the thing is, no, I'm not changing the 3 to light that are in it. I'm just making sure all the shortcuts are right and the thumbnails are good. And then I'll take the same maps and put iRay settings on them so that they look good in iRay.
Gotcha.
So that's what I'm working on right now.
Groove-tastic. Concert T shirt logo. A Hitman. I can't stop singing it, man. I'm gonna have to play it. Then I'll take this. Hang on, man. Oh, that's a sweet Dio graphic right there. More of a tribute graphic to him. Man, I gotta say, as far as he's right up there with like the best that ever did it. What
Mm-hmm.
a voice on such a tiny guy, man. It's like you will be 4 foot tall, but I will make you sound like a god.
Uh-huh.
you know,
Uh-huh. Yep.
Les knows some folks that know him, and he, like lived in his area and were neighbors and stuff, and they said he was like just the coolest guy.
Right on.
Like apparently, when he was still living, people would just come to see him, fans, and didn't freak him out.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, you can't do that shit today though.
No. No, you sure can't.
Too many nutters flicks out there. Uh,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's what they're called. Mhm.
let's see here. That's a cool graphic right there, but I need to be able to extract it. Man, Holy Diver, again, a guy that I didn't listen to all that much. But holy shit, that's a great record. Like that record, if I when I was into like metal, like that record,
Hmm.
woo, that was super super cool. Come on. Trying to get like I'm on this website, it's displaying images with flash. That makes it a little tough to kind of grab the image. Ah, that's not doing it. I really wanted that site. It's Etsy. God, screw Etsy. I can't stand that site. Bunch of no talent hacks. I'm just picking. I don't care one way or the other. It just sounded funny coming out of my mouth. There we go. Go with this one. Copy image. Here we go. Yeah, this would get Renda Rosty upset trying to submit something like this. Nah, I get it. You can't obviously. But
Oh no.
I wasn't doing this though. I was taking the font and making like my own logo that said Evil Dead and the Evil Dead font. Now I would argue that that is not copyright infringement. That is fair use.
Well, I mean, the name is, if the name is copyrighted, then putting out anything with the name on it would be infringement.
You know, I'm not a lawyer, and I have my doubts on that. That's why I did not fight on it. Not that I have any say if they decide. Like I'll give you an example. Years ago, they can take it too far, and they did. So when I originally tried to release, and they forgot all about this, which goes to show that it was bullshit. Which is why when they just sometimes hassle us on things that I don't, that are just seemingly very nitpicky. I just think lots of times it comes down to the person. But they when I try to submit Wolfen for Genesis,
Hmm.
they basically said, "Oh, you can't do that because Wolfen's already out there." I was like, "What?" They're like, "Oh yeah, 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 it's a movie." I'm like, "Am I submitting a movie called Wolfen?" Because the way it works is if you're not submitting when you copyright something, you're not copywriting it for all usages, right? I can't go have a movie called Wolfen, and plus, I was calling it Gray Bros Wolfen, so that's two different things, and also a completely different kind of property. So
Hmm.
I always thought that was just the dumbest.
Well, and a lot of people don't know or are blissfully unaware that copyrights are not permanent,
True.
right? Um, not and also there's a big difference between a copyright and a trademark
And a service mark.
and a service mark. And a lot of people just kind of in conversation blend trademark and copyright. Well, and patent for that matter, right? I mean, they get all of those things mixed together, and they're all totally different things and serve different purposes. If a band can trademark their name, that's their trademark. Now they own the right to that name as their brand, so to speak. But most of them don't bother. There's cost involved and all the rest of it. But to your point, Wolfen the movie, fine. If you're not creating another movie called Wolfen, you're not stepping on anybody's toes.
Yeah, I'm doing these are freebies. I'm doing a very quick and dirty version of that, of this masking and stuff. But a person could really obsess about it and be uber perfect if they wanted to.
Oh yes, you most certainly could.
Hey, I got like plans to do a whole line of clothing, and I hope when I do, you'll consider doing like a companion product, to do the smart content, like the Gray Bro smart content or whatever, like you've done for some of the others.
Oh, absolutely.
I've gotten pretty much most of the outfit right now. I want to do some like hiking boots to go with what I've got, like the jeans, the shirt. I'm probably gonna have some TLC done on some of the morphs once I get the whole outfit, just so I can get a preset made and just make sure the morphs all like I want one morph that like loads everything and with all the appropriate, not a morph, it's not the right word, preset or H pose to load everything with all the right dials dialed in so that it all fits together,
Mm-hmm.
without having to do the work individually, which you have to now. last in line. You think that was close enough to get this video silenced or,
Mm.
or taken down? How about this one? We're off to the witch. Women never, never, never come home.
You're having too much fun, dude.
Oh man, that's my mission in life. Man, you got to go see that Alita film though. That was seriously awesome. Like I was start to finish. It just never drags. The effects were just awesome all the way through. Very very
Hmm.
cool. Very cool indeed.
Interesting. Uh, Working on the eye texture for the fence. Yeah. Okay, I'm not happy with that.
It's gonna be tricky.
Well, getting galvanized steel to look right is not a simple task.
Well, it is if you're using like a polygonal approach, but that's using like a alpha mat sort of deal, isn't it?
Right.
To make the fence.
Well, and of course, what I'm trying to do here is I'm just trying to play with iRay settings against the maps that are there, right? I don't want to jump out and start. I mean, I could go find an aluminum shader that would make it look exactly like it's supposed to, but that's
Or
not the goal here.
Or as our Indian contractor friends like to say, aluminium.
Yes.
That's how they pronounce it. Aluminium.
Well, that's British. That's how the British say it too.
Is that how they say it as well?
Yeah, yeah. That's why the English that Indians speak is from they're
Very
being taught
British.
by
I got you.
British, being taught by the British.
I got you.
So,
Involuntarily, you will speak English.
we don't care if you want to; you just will. You're a colony.
It's
You'll
nice
do
to
what we
want
tell you.
things. It's nice to want things, but that's not really the point in this scenario, amigo.
Sadly, yeah. But you are a colony. You will do as we say. We are the crown.
Yeah, people call us, all kinds of names out in the world, and I'm like, are we forgetting the example of the British? Or
Oh,
we just pretending that shit never happened?
the Brits are just sitting back quietly, going, "Yeah, okay, you guys go pick on the U.S. That's
They're
fine."
like that. They're like that scene in Rambo. Was it Rambo 3 where the colonel says to the Russian guy, they're trying to occupy Afghanistan, and I find that scene so ironic given the fact that we later had to fight these fuckers.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
he's like, we had our Vietnam. Now you're gonna have yours. I always love
Yes.
that. I always love that scene, but the fucking irony meter just explodes every time I think about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. At the time, it was good, but now it's just hilarious.
Yeah, it's just too ironic. The irony is too rich.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, like boy, that writer's like, boy, that one came back.
Yeah, it sure did.
That one boomeranged on us. Man, let's see here. I could do a Canadian theme pack sometime and then have like, Brian Adams and uh,
Guess who? Brian
Lennon
Adams.
and Maisie.
Grateful Dead. The Hip.
You're gonna know a lot more people, a lot more, because you know how it is. Famously, Americans, if it's cool and we like it, it becomes
Hmm.
American,
Hmm.
very quick.
Hmm. Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, God, Canadian musicians. Wow, it runs pretty deep, man, and a lot of people don't realize how many. I mean, Ike and Tina
Really?
from Vancouver, for fuck's
Get
sakes.
the fuck out of here! I did not
Yeah.
know that. That's holy shit! Like you just dropped some knowledge on me, like Morgan Freeman right there. I knew where this was going. I was scared. Uh, I did not know that.
Oh yeah. Oh hell yeah.
That kind of makes it more sense that she would be cool with like just moving to France like she did.
Uh-huh.
Get away from racism and whatnot. Because I mean, like that's a very Canadian thing to do. You guys are much more like internationally minded. You're much more like Europe than we are.
True. True.
Um,
Yeah, believe it or
See.
not, my eldest sister went to school with Ike.
Oh man,
How
that's
do you like that?
crazy. That's crazy, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
It
went.
is.
He picked the
He
wrong
is.
chick.
But
He was brilliant, man. He was really brilliant. He picked the wrong
oh
chick
yeah.
chick to beat on. That's all. I mean, his story could have been completely different if he had beat on the right women. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like he could have been like a star himself or whatever. Of course,
Yep.
that's bullshit hitting women. I have
I totally
no
agree with
no
you on that
respect for
one.
anybody that does that shit at all.
No, no, me either. Where am I at here? That's not what I want. Where the hell are you? There you are. Okay.
I love that Dio font, man. That is badass. We're off to the witch. Dio. Back at the moon.
Oh, that helps.
What's that?
Oh, I'm just playing with the maps that I've got and trying applying them to different layers in the Iray shader
Oh
to
yeah.
see if I can improve the look. I just took the base diffused and stuffed it into the gloss color layer,
Cool.
and it just went, oh yeah, now I'm getting that gradient. You look at a piece of aluminum or an aluminum pole or something, there's shades of gray in the highlight, right?
Oh
It's
yeah.
not just monotone. Well, I'm getting that now. And it's like, all right, that's more like it.
Nice. Oh, Ride the Lightning. Let's see if I can get a really big Ride the Lightning graphic. Ride. Man, the song that made me want to play guitar, learn to play guitar. And I had a chance to get a freaking photo op, a book, and an autograph from Kurt Hammett for $45. And I passed that shit up like a dumbass. And that is the dude that made me want to play guitar. His solo on Fade to Black, I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was the coolest shit I had ever heard. Seriously, like me and my buddy who also skipped that photo op and buying the book and all, which is really unheard of. As big as he is, most of those guys would charge a lot more than that, and you get the book out of it, right? He did like
Right.
a horror collectibles book or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, that was the dude. That was the dude that made me want to pick up a guitar for the first time. Ironically, he didn't influence my playing at all, but he's the guy that made me want to pick the guitar up. And I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
ultimately did. That was the first thing, literally the first thing I ever tried to play before chords, before anything. The solo from a Guitar World magazine for Fade to Black. Man, crazy, crazy, right?
Oh, totally crazy. Yeah.
Oh, that is a bootleg shirt bigger than life. I'm looking at like a graphic here, and it's not the real deal. You can just tell because the shit just don't look right.
No, yeah, that's quite bootleg. That is. What the
Right?
hell is that supposed to be? Is that supposed to be a Metallica?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Oh, totally.
This one right here is the one that's just terrible. Like the first one I pulled up was just the color is coloration. Now here we go. We're getting closer now. Ride the Lightning. Great freaking record. Come on, load up. Oh, that's loading off of YouTube. That can't be right. I told it to give me. Oh, that's not half bad there. I can maybe grab that one
That's a little more like it.
because I can probably size it down and then mess with the edges. Hey, yeah. Yeah, they were an awesome show, man. I saw NXS before Homeboy masturbated himself to death. That was awesome. They were they
Mm-hmm.
were. I saw them with freaking Lenny Kravitz before Lenny really broke big. And at the time, I didn't dig Lenny at all, and I love him now. It's ironic. Um, man, his daughter is so gorgeous. It's nuts. Like she looks like
Oh,
her
yeah,
mom
yeah, yeah,
did, only better.
yeah, yeah. Uh, well,
Hey,
I am
yeah.
going to have to excuse myself for a few moments. Bio break, as they say.
That's what I say all the time. All right, man.
Okay, back bit.
All right, cool. Hey, yeah. Now I'm on that singing thing. Golly. Y'all believe that? Just singing like a fool on a freaking Friday night, yo. I got about an hour to work on this. Oh, that's a bad stroke. I got about an hour to work on this before my buddy's band starts up, and I'm going to try to pop over there, maybe have me a sushi roll and watch a little bit of it anyway, right? That'll be at Little Tokyo, the world famous Little Tokyo Lounge where yours truly plays at. If you ever want to check me out, I have my 5-piece band there on the last Tuesday of every month. If you log on to my Brent Bowers Music fan page around 7:30 on the last Tuesday night of the month, you're likely to see a live stream from that venue. Metallica 1. Okay. Save early, save often. Welcome to Where Time Stands Still. Are we still alone? We are still alone in the stream. My boy Reggie hadn't even showed up. What's up, Reggie? Let's see where he's at right now. Reggie! Hmm. Oh well. Commented on your post. Facebook and on YouTube live stream. Oh, that ain't. It looks like I'm in the middle of your phone call. Nice to hear that one of your relatives has a new job with McDonald's. But what's this to do with the tutorial? Thanks, man. Last guy. Okay, so apparently my jokes were, I get it, maybe not that funny. I'm not a comedian. All right, let's move back. Actually, you know what we can do? We can switch over right now and plug some of these shirts in and save the presets. Might be kind of cool. So we do this, just switch back over here. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, I'm going to just make a new scene. I don't like having all that stuff in there. Let's just do that. Yeah. Okay, we actually don't have to put this on a person, so that might be, nah, let's do this. This is really annoying. Sometimes I have a hard time getting it back to the original backdrop because see, I obviously did not apply this or tell it to be my default, but sometimes it just kind of does that. So let's go with this little setting right here. See what happens if I do none. See, that's not what I was really hoping for. We can make it, don't have to fake it. Now, one thing that I do when I set these up is to, I'm just trying to reproduce that angle right there from my materials, is to use an example material because things that I have like agonized over, I don't do on the new materials, which is just like the various everything but the diffuse map. Let's see here. We don't like that environment being so far dome. Let's go with 150. Should put it around front. That's exactly not what I wanted to do. Let's do this. That's much better. Okay. Create new. render cam. And then we'll just turn off the parameters. Everyone's a critic. Okay. All right. So to create these presets, and since I know that I'm going to develop this as a product I'm going to put up on Share CG, I'm just going to go ahead and real quick duplicate this folder. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab everything that's in it. I don't need everything that's in it, but just for simplicity's sake, and I'm going to call it, need to make a new folder inside of here, new folder, and I'll call it Metal T add-on pack. And I want to kind of do themes. I'll do more of these, you know. I don't think I need any of this stuff, since all that'll come with the default product. I think I can just delete this, and anything that I do making these materials that needs to be in there will be in there. So yeah, let's do that. So we'll pop back in here, and I'll just add that library from preferences, content, directory manager, dash studio format, add. Let's see here. We called it Metal T add-on pack. Okay, accept. So now we can go back to the folder we want to work in, which is going to be not that one, but should be Metal T add-on pack, right? I'm not quite sure why I'm not seeing that. Maybe I didn't do that correctly. Let me just do it one more time. So content directory manager, dash connect format, add Metal T add-on pack, select OK, accept, spinning, accept. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to go in here and using the male version of the shirt. By the way, these presets will work on either the male or female. If anyone finds that not to be the case, please let me know. And then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to open up this, just keep up with what I've done. Browse the file location. Simply just going to delete everything except for the Iron Maiden, which stays. I'm going to delete that. I'm probably going to overwrite that as well, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so now we're going to Men's Beefy Tea. Let's redo the Iron Maiden, because just that way I'm sure that I didn't bring in any data or any other stuff that wouldn't be in this add-on packet. Not metallicity is not what we're wanting. We want base color. And okay, let's figure this out. Shirt graphic, no. I think I need to grab a couple of textures from the other folder. let's do this. We'll just leave that alone for a second. Pop back here. I'll just make sure I've got my textures in the new location. So that's going to be Gray Rose Graphic Tee. Okay, I'm doing this in the other window, guys. No big deal. But what I am doing is just going into the original development folder and getting the textures that are specific, only the new textures. So I have those kind of broken out and separate from sort by modified. Yeah, that's what I needed. Okay. You know what? Maybe I should make a new folder. That seems like a good idea. Add-ons.
I'm back.
Yeah. I was just giving some thought to setting up the textures a little bit differently for these add-ons so that they would not, intertwine with the others.
Yeah, that's generally a good idea. Yeah.
Metal. Concert. Tease. Apparently, one of the guys that I cross-posted this on the site didn't like that he logged on before we were actually into the tutorial.
Oh.
Sorry, dude. Okay, so there we go. And another thing I did while you're gone was I set up my new texture folder so that all these are like kind of pointing only to that folder just to avoid any potential flub up. I think the worst that it would do would be to cause an error, but you could just hit OK and I think it would still work. I think I ran into that before, but I digress. There's no need for that. Okay, there we go. Oh, I did it in the wrong darn one. You believe that? I'm sure you believe it because it's easy to believe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Les turned me on to this, making new folders for development. I was such a noob when we started making this stuff. Okay, there we go. That ought to work. I made one. And we had that weirdness with the sleeves where I didn't like how they came out so freaking blue. So we're going to grab the sleeves and the cuff edges and make this none. Diffuse overlay weight. Give it a weight. Make that a little darker. And then turn the overlay weight way up. I could also give it this base color too. It's less shiny if you do it with that. If you want it shiny, you leave it white. So I don't know what I like better there. I'm going to go with that one. A little bit of shine to it. Just out of curiosity. Okay. Still working, still working, still working. All right. We're going to save this as I don't want it there. What's going on here? Scenes. Let's do this. I have my different. Okay. Weird. Yes. Okay. All right, so we want to turn that light off. We do not like the headlight. It's already off. Cool. And we'll just save this. This will be our render cam now. And we'll make a material preset from preset. Made in one. Okay. Everything, yes. And now I'm going to go ahead and speed the plow and do this all at once so I don't have to go back. I'll just be able to zip this up when all is said and done just by setting this up the first time. Interesting. Okay, so that's not where I need to be. I've learned that lesson. Okay, we need to be here, genius. I kind of upset me, that guy bitching that we weren't on the, I wasn't on the tutorial. I was like, Jesus, dude, give me 60 seconds to let people join before you break all critical. I was totally the wrong folder anyway. Okay, so I need to be in this. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Throw me off my game over here. Okay. It's crazy.
Yep.
It's like, you're making some jokes about your president that I don't understand. I'm like, well, actually, what I said was, I don't know how your English comprehension is, because since you're not from here, but like, what I said was, if you want to put like an anti-Trump or an anti-Hillary, it would be, all the same. Just put whatever you want on there. That's the whole point of the shirt, right? Like, I was making a comment about that. I don't think I was making a joke about anybody, but maybe it was beyond his ability to grasp what I was saying. He thought I was making like political jokes, which I'm with him. I don't like that. I'm not gonna. I could care less about like talking about politics. You know me. I'm like, I'm just not. That's not my get down, as it were. But it's all good. Maybe he'll reconsider.
Maybe.
I ain't gonna hold my breath. So
Wouldn't be much point.
this is a combination of settings that I have found to be very effective for making fast renders that I'm going to share right now. This comes from the Bible of Awesome. Actually, the Bible is awesome, so I won't say that. But so basically, I've opened up the folder for browsing to it, and I'm going to copy this. Now, Les does it different. And then I'm going to set this up to 68. He does these as 91, and then he'll do a tip that's 268. I'm like, why do two when you can just do one and it works perfectly fine? I never quite understood that, but he's
256. It should be 256, by the way.
256.
Yeah.
That's corrected. Okay, so make this 300. I could probably do less than that. Let's do 150 seconds. Blah 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 blah. Turn this off. We don't really need that on. And wow, I don't know why it's taking so long to. Oh, it's because that my render camera, I guess. Looks like I'm allowed to delete that. I'll delete this post when we're done and just put one back, just with a finished one whenever it's up, whatever. Okay, so let's try that. I actually should save that with all that information. And hit render. That's always a good sign when it pops up and says, do you want to overwrite? Because that tells you you're in the right folder. Yes, 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 yes. I really love it. People ditch at my post. I really love it when foreigners can be a D-hole. Don't be such a little cock hoster. You know you're dealing with the master roaster. Keep your opinions to yourself and go fuck off. Cause I've no more fucks to give. Sorry.
That's quite all right.
I saw an amazing video. I gotta find the guy. I like this page. So he's like one of these dapper guys that's all dressed up like the 30s. You know, he's got his beard and a suit.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen the type, right? He's playing
I
like
know the type.
a little. It's a miniature banjo. Ding a ding a ding, and you sing the song, right? And basically the song is I've lost. I have no more fucks to give, right? And it's
Uh
genius, man. It's genius the way that he does the wordplay. I loved it. Super hilarious.
huh.
It's like, oh, my fucks have run off. It's hilarious. Absolutely funny. I gotta share that guy with you. I'll figure it out. It was somebody shared it on my wall. It's amazing. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the next one now. Actually, probably should go back to the original white T-shirt texture because I made those little changes on the. There we go. I'll pop back over here because I want to be as default as possible with all these, obviously.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I don't know why it's starting there. I guess because I applied that, but that's okay. I'm gonna like after this. I think as long as I'm not changing the sleeves separately or whatever, it'll all still basically be default, and hopefully it'll jump back to metal T-shirt. Add on textures. Okay, so that's Maiden 2. I got to do some more Iron Maiden, but like at this moment, I'm not gonna worry about it. And then I'm gonna go here. Iron Maiden Bulgaria. Two. I've no more fucks to give. I mean, that was a great tune, man. It's a real genius song. I mean, I was like, you nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel about political jokes.
Zero fucks given.
I'm gonna Google this while this is rendering. Let's see. You'll love it. You will. I can't play it because they'll squash us for that. But let's see if I can
Right.
find Google. I'll send you a link to it if I can find it. Oh my God, I got it. You guys, if you want to hear this, if you Google "I've no more fucks to give," your top result will be a link to a YouTube video, which is by a guy named Thomas Benjamin Wild Esquire. The Esquire is like the spiritual kick in the testicles. I love it.
That's just brilliant.
Super hilarious.
Esquire.
I was like, I almost spit my drink out when he got to the first chorus. Holy shit.
At least he didn't go Excelsior.
Right. Excelsior. That is a badass. I'd love to have that shirt, man.
Let's just take this a little bit more.
Cool.
Okay. I think we're getting there.
Save as. I can't wait to play with that after you cleaned it up. It was really hurting my head messing with it before. It's kind of heavy. I don't know why it's quite so heavy as it is, but yeah, it's a bit heavy.
What, the storage unit?
Yeah. The master preset. Well, that's a lot of stuff, but I mean, I kind of expected it to be lighter.
There's a fair bit of geometry there. I mean, there is a lot of instancing going on, so that helps. It still, it's fairly large.
Large and in charge. I want to do a massive zombie render for one of the promos. That's because now there's all those great what do you call them? Billboard products.
Mm-hmm. Yes, those are. I've got quite a few of those. They're really handy for doing any kind of crowd. That's for damn sure. Also picked up a utility. Can't even remember the name of it now, but it's scripts. Let's see if I can find the name of it here. Come on. What the hell was it again? Scripts. That was not it. Utilities. Of course, I've been picking up all of those Riversoft and Sickle Yields clothing conversion kits.
Yeah, when the price is right, I have been doing it as well, but I haven't used any of them yet, really, to be honest.
Haven't you? Oh man, I think. Well, what the hell did I? Let me just have a quick look here. I've done probably 500 clothing conversions.
Wow.
Let me just find it here. Just set it up and let it run, right? And I've gone from, let's just browse to that folder and get a count. 268 folders, but some of them are vendor, and then under the vendor there's 10 outfits. So it could be as many as 500 outfits that I've converted from Genesis 2 or Genesis 3 up to Genesis 8.
Do you find a big difference in how they load? I mean,
way better than the auto fit, like way better. It's not perfect, but it's totally usable, right? It does only convert clothing.
Yeah, I noticed it didn't work on hair, unfortunately.
No, it does not work on hair. It doesn't work on like prop accessories, things of that nature. You can force convert a lot of those things, and they work, but it by default it just does clothing. But I've done, as I say, probably close to 500 outfits that I've moved up from G2 and G3. And
wow.
most of it works really well. Footwear is still a challenge, but it's usable. Auto fit's not, right? You try to take a pair of G3 shoes and put them on a G8 character and use auto fit, and it's like, forget it, right? Like,
Yes, absolutely.
But with this utility, you can actually get footwear that's usable, right? So
Yeah, I'm probably going to be adding a footwear item pretty soon. I'm kind of getting tired of like unexpected results with like jeans and tees, which is what kind of inspired this product altogether.
right.
I can make stuff from Genesis Fit, with enough tweaking. Sometimes it looks great, sometimes it looks like caca, Staphylococcus, but
Uh-huh.
this takes all the guesswork out.
Right.
Have I told you what I'm having Les do for me next?
No.
It is it's called Graybro's White Hermit Hair, and it's like Pai Mei, like the hair, the long eyebrows, the beard and mustache,
Okay.
and all
Okay.
that, like from the character that's in the Kill. It's obviously predates the Kill Bill stuff, but it was in Kill Bill.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Chow Yun Fat played him in Kill Bill, but like, and then if that gets any kind of pop, I'm gonna go with the outfit to go with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That'll probably be at Daz though.
Right.
Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, once I get dialed in, I can spin these things off quick. Of course, I probably should take a little more trouble with cutting them out, but like right now, it's just kind of point is just to get a freebie set out there to establish interest, and then I may you know, do a little bit more serious conversions. But you know, I mean, obviously, it's can't make any money off of it. It's royalty free type stuff. Well, it's not royalty free, so you can't make money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
The textures. If you have any ideas for other things, like I was thinking, like the classic Atari logo. Like I'm gonna do a pack for like video games, a pack for like celebrity wear. Just
Sure.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
just you know,
Even,
do,
you know, Nike, Adidas, go through the brands.
hmm,
What else? CK, right?
right, right.
Go the fashionista side. There's just the possibilities are endless. You put anything on a T-shirt.
Flowers.
You know. Oh God, My Little Pony, for crying out loud. You know.
Well, I mean, there's a point of diminishing returns as long as it's
Well,
selling. As long as it's selling,
yeah,
let's not get crazy.
yeah. Okay, fair enough.
And the jacket is now solvent, so that's good. I mean, like I made back my development costs on that. So anytime anything is like you know, solvent, I'm like, okay, well, I'm in a vein where at least I got solvent here, so
Hmm.
I should kind of stay in the vein.
Well, yeah, and try and get some profit out of it. That's a great idea.
Okay, that's looking pretty good. Let's check that render. That Dio shirt turned out pretty good. The thing is, like it's essentially low res on the shirt for to be rendered back. You know, it's not supposed to be like any
Hmm.
hyper crisp detail or anything like that.
Hmm. Well, I mean, they never are on T-shirts, right? Let's face it.
Indeed.
Even the commercially produced T-shirts, the quality of the imagery is not that high.
I haven't put up but one thing on ShareC. You ever use ShareCG? There's some cool stuff over there, man.
I have never posted anything there. I have picked up a few
Oh
things
man,
there.
that'd be a great way to draw people to your content packs. Just do that for something, you know, a freebie for something. I don't know, like maybe Graybros graphic tee, and
Huh?
throw that up there, and like, yeah, it's gonna get people back to your store.
Actually, one of the things I have contemplated doing is in Redrosity's freebie store. There's the
Yes.
monthly Prime freebies. Putting up the smart content for the monthly Prime freebie, and
Ah.
just see what happens. Right? You never know. I mean, it's a tight
How does
market
that work
because
exactly? The monthly
well,
prime. I haven't seen this. Okay. Like
if you're a Prime member,
in the
then every month
forum.
you get a free product out of the forum, right?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, well, what the hell? It's only good for Prime members, but
How do you get into that?
the Prime,
I mean, how do you offer the freebie?
oh, you just upload it on the to the Renderosity freebie folders.
I gotcha.
Upload it as a freebie. Okay, so
But the prime only has one freebie per month in that forum. You know what I mean?
that's correct. That's correct. So what I'd probably do is I'd go back. I mean, I've got every one for the last 4 years, so I could go, oh, here's 2015, 12 smart contents for all the freebies that year.
Oh, that's
Here's
genius. Okay,
right,
now I totally get what you're saying. Well, that's a really good
right,
idea. I'm
yeah.
impressed. Man, you guys must have a better educational system. You see the one where Katy Perry or somebody says something to these two English guys. She's standing in as a host,
Uh-huh.
and the guy corrects her geography and says, she goes, "You guys are smart." He goes, "Yeah, we're schooled in England."
Bitch slap. You weren't educated out in the colonies, you know.
That's funny.
Oh dear. Well, I don't know if this is working or not. Hmm.
DO3. We're up to the witch. I'm gonna listen to that in the car riding over there to watch my buddy's show. This dude, this friend of mine that's playing this, he's kind of a he does the booking for that place. Of course, right now my whole concert series, I'm going direct with the owner. I'm not going through him. But when he does the acoustic, when I play acoustic there, I go through him, and so he kind of books the shows. And but he's also like that's what he does for a living is performing the music. And man, he's talented in ways that are like just his ability to do like a beat with his foot on like a cajon. Used to really impress me. And like I mean, he's great all around. But like to me, his playing is more impressive than his singing. And he used to do this thing where he'd have a cajon, a cajon. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Um,
No worries.
and basically be playing that while he's playing the guitar and singing. And also he would do like a rhythm and a solo at the same time, right? And I'd be
Mm-hmm.
like, dang, dude, that's like I try to do that and it just don't work. It
Mm-hmm.
just don't work. DO3. I got to go get the next texture now. But tonight he's got this Indian dude that started playing with him on drums. And he's pretty good. And the guy I think likewise makes a living at it in Charlotte, playing in like a bunch of different bands. And they just do a two-man thing. It's acoustic and the drums. It's pretty cool too, man. He does a really eclectic mix. Like I'm always gonna hear stuff that I like. I know, like that just I hadn't heard in a while. Like he did "Got Me Wrong" by that Alice in Chains Pearl Jam mashup. They did
Mm-hmm.
they did a band
Mm-hmm.
mashup to that one album, which was really good. I thought. Let's see, Queensryche, okay, Whitesnake, but they do stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Have I done all these? Let's see, one, two, three, four, five,
Just,
six, seven,
just
eight.
not, just not the texture I'm looking for.
So I think I'm down to Whitesnake. What do you think a good number for a freebie pack of these metal T-shirts is? I mean, I think I've gotten 8 done right now.
Well, that's a good number. Good round number. Eights. Yeah.
Whitesnake. Here I go again on my own. Going down the only road I've ever known. Like a
Might
drifter
be.
I was born.
You might be half an octave high there, dude.
Half an hour. I don't think I'm as high as he is. What are you talking about?
Uh, yeah, probably not. Yeah, he does tend to more scream it, but yeah, that's part of the challenge with that whole genre of vocals is most of it's screamed, and
Um,
screaming on key is not something that a lot of us can do.
Fleetwood Mac is going to be in town next Sunday, but I'm already committed for a horror convention that I got to work with my buddies. But man, I would have went and seen them. But did you know that they basically paid Lindsay as if he performed the tour with them to keep him from going because Stevie won't be on stage with him?
Wow.
I heard that the other day. I said, "Get really? That is crazy."
Yeah, that is kind of crazy,
It's,
but
I mean,
it's not
he's
hard.
well because they were a couple and stuff or whatever.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Well, it's funny because it's like he's not just any guitar player singer. Like they replaced him with a guitar player and a singer that were both famous guys as well. Like the guy from
Yes.
Crowded
Yeah.
House, and I forget who the guitar player was.
Yeah, it's true.
They do have a great body of work, though. I gotta respect that.
Mm-hmm.
I got a particular set of songs of theirs I listen to, and I don't listen to a lot of others. But like, and ironically, the ones I dig are not so much the ones that are like the most popular with everybody. But like I like what's that album that's got Everywhere?
Oh, everywhere.
Let's see here. Ooh, that's interesting. Which album? It is going to be Christine McVie.
Everywhere. Fleetwood Mac everywhere. Album.
They got a Wikipedia on this song. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Oh, this is the single.
Oh,
Tango in the Night.
It really? No, I'm thinking that. Really? I don't think that's the one.
Well, that's
I,
the album it came out
you
on.
know what?
But
I don't know. It's hard to say, but there's a particular album that I got back in the day. I got the cassette tape, and I really dug it. I like every song on it. But like, let me look and see what else is on Tango in the Night.
you got Big Love, Seven Wonders, Little Lies, Family Man.
Okay, maybe that is it.
Isn't It Midnight?
Maybe that is it. I don't know. Isn't it midnight? But the rest of the ones you mentioned, yeah. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's good music.
Mm-hmm.
When a band can like have people singing their songs like that long, that ain't bad. You know, definitely not bad. Okay, so I got to
Nope.
figure out a cool way to feature these shirts. Um, how do I want to do this?
These fence rails are really pissing me off.
What's that?
Trying to get these damn fence rails to look like aluminum is really pissing me off. It's just not working.
I thought you would have mastered that by now.
Oh man, it's just being a royal pain in the ass.
Dude, it's looking like this Jesse Smollett attack didn't really happen like that. I don't know. Have you seen all that stuff about that? The dude from Empire that claimed like
No,
somebody made they attacked him and put like a rope around his neck and made these homophobic, God forbid, slurs and stuff, and were like physically assaulted him, and they were saying this is MAGA country and shit like that, and everybody was like super sympathetic, of course, and
right.
then it's come out now that like there's evidence that he faked the whole damn thing, and there's witnesses that were in the area that he said it
Oh
happened.
no,
Yeah, dude,
really?
and the rumor is that he was being written off the show, which I don't follow that show anymore. But when I did, he was one of the main characters. I can't imagine him being written off. But and the show has said that's not true because of course they're going to cash in from all this regardless, you know. But
Uh huh.
but
Uh
yeah,
huh.
apparently, let me Google that right quick. The guy can really sing, but it bothers me that his name is spelled Jussie.
Jussie.
Ju like for Jesse, it's spelled, or maybe they say Jussie. I don't know.
Well, either way, that's an odd. I'd have to admit that there's an awful lot of stuff out there. Um, People spelling names, I guess, trying to be original.
Yeah.
Um, just really, really bad. Really, really bad.
Well, apparently they arrested two Nigerian. Is it Nigerian guys? Two black dudes beside over it, and they were also the ones that were like the suspects apparently. And then when they talked to them, I mean, why would two black guys say this is MAGA country? You know what I mean? Like,
Our top story this morning, the Jussie Smollett investigation.
That just none of that adds up, right?
yeah, yeah.
It
Apparently, like there
just
were enough
doesn't.
holes in it.
That just
Um,
doesn't add up.
That's going to be so bad. That's going to end his world, man. If it turns out that that's fake, man, how do you come back from that?
You don't. You don't. Plain and simple.
And they said they put a rope on his neck. I mean, like, okay, I know gay bashing really happens. I know there's racist, but like putting a rope on like a Hollywood star's neck, who the fuck would do that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think. I mean that is even like almost like too heinous for your average racist redneck. I'm having a hard time envisioning that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Very strange. Not to say it couldn't have happened, but God forbid it did happen. But I'm just curious to see what I don't know how many people are going to be over there too. That's a wild place. Gets pretty wild about like 11 o'clock. It should be pretty tame this time of night. We'll play it by ear. Play it by ear. Since I perform there, I pull around back and come in the employee entrance every time because it just saves me from having to walk across a huge parking lot.
Mm.
Funny. I am curious about something. Ah. Okay. What's the weather like up there?
Oh, well, over the last week, we got about 14 inches of snow.
Jesus!
So, yeah, we'd done really, really well. We'd had a pretty mild winter, relatively speaking. Not much in the way of snow in the valley bottom at all. And then all of a sudden, about 10 days ago, I decided, you know what, we're going to snow.
Uh-huh.
And we're going to keep snowing.
Dang.
And yesterday it got back up above freezing, so now there's just all this frickin' slush and crap everywhere out there. It's bloody awful.
What a trip. Brent. Gray roll jeans. Oh, I forgot that I already had a t-shirt in the scene that wasn't attached to nobody. We'll just use that one. Fit to Brento G8. Okay. Let's see if we got any gun poses that would look really cool. I can't. Hey, did you get Tasha 8 by chance?
Yes, I did.
I did as well. I was kind of on the bubble, but when I saw how much freebie stuff you got, I always enjoy kind of watching the posts and seeing all the hate come out for every new figure. It's just like it's amusing.
Well, it is rather, but I can appreciate where some people are coming from. It's just like, Jesus Christ, another new figure? How many base figures can there possibly be? I get where they're coming from. Let's try something else.
Finally had somebody pop into the chat.
The Cajun Beauty.
I'm gonna change my my name to the Southern Liam Neeson. my instructor at massage school told me I look like Clancy Brown. You know who that is?
Oh, that name sounds so familiar. Who the heck? Clancy Brown. Clancy Brown.
He's been so many things. I always think of him as the guy that played Kurgan in the Highlander, which I'm a geek though.
Okay, I know exactly who you mean now. So you're not that much of a geek, or at least I'm the same amount of a geek. You said Clancy Brown. I was like, I know the name. You said the character. I'm like, okay, I know what you mean.
That's funny. Let's see here. Rob G3, Urban T-shirt. Let's delete that.
Huh.
Let's see here. Men's BFT. Expand all. Cool.
Well, I found a shader that makes this thing look like an aluminum fence, but I don't know. It's a completely different. It's a true shader, and it works, but
Metal texture add-on.
yeah, that's just not going to work for what we're doing. Okay, well, back to the drawing board on that one. Shit.
Yeah. I got a character, a little. I made a character of my buddy, and I'm gonna use this for the promo. It's just amusing. I find it very funny.
Mm-hmm.
Urban Metro shoes. Here I go again on my own.
Holy crap, we've been at this for almost 2 hours, dude.
Man, it goes quick.
Doesn't it, though? It's like, wow.
Yeah, I kind of planned it. I'm kind of coming to the end of the line too. I'm gonna have to head out pretty quick, but yeah, I basically have this one done.
I was late joining the party, right? You know, I mean, you had been at it for
so I've been at it for a bit longer than that, right?
Yeah, so
expand all. So I think that's going to be my cover art for this. And let me ask you this: do you think I should make a preset? Like, you think I should go to the trouble of putting a different preset in the female folder, or should I just say, hey, these presets work for male or female? I'm kind of torn on that.
Well, I mean, for the sake of completeness.
Yeah, I guess I could do that.
I mean, it's a freebie, so you could just have it a generic, right? Just textures that work for both. Yeah, sure, that's fine.
Cool. I'm glad you agree. But yeah, I mean, I could copy the presets in there, and all I would really have to do would be to re-render 8 thumbnails. So that's not that big of a deal.
True enough.
I might just do that. Let's see, call it metal pack. Change this over to. You know what? I'm gonna let it go in that same folder. No, I'm not. Now it moved. Let's see here. Call this Runtime Library Disciple3D. This will be fine. I'm gonna make it 3000 by 3000. Okay, I think we're good. Change this something to like 10,000. Okay, man. I think that's gonna do it for the evening. Thanks for catching up with me. I'll be around,
chat, man.
I'll be around.
Yeah.
We're off President's Day Monday, so.
Right. Well, I'm off Monday as well. It's what we call Family Day here in British Columbia.
Ah, well, very nice.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Well, like you said, you'll be around. I'll be around. Yeah. I'm gonna do my best to have this thing wrapped up before the end of Monday.
Oh, cool. Well, whenever you feel like I can make promos from it, let me know and hook me up.
Hopefully, as I say, I'll have the textures figured out tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll probably push an upload for you, and then you can start doing your promos.
Sounds good. Okay, for anyone who's watching this, I don't know if I'm going to edit it down. I might edit it down a little bit, but this is what we got. I'll just show you a real quick pre-render right here of the finished t-shirt presets. I don't know if I should call them presets or they are texture presets and they're new textures and all that, but I don't know. I'm not quite sure what to name it yet. But yeah, I'll just do a few of these, and if I go to the trouble of doing something like totally original, like original images, I would definitely pop that on Rendo. But yeah, I think it's gonna look pretty good. I'll just save this and go back to it. I should maybe go back to the lander. Be real interesting to see how this turns out. Well, heck, it's taking too long to render, so I guess I need to kind of like hit the render button. Oh, there it goes. Okay. Let me just show that real quick. There we go. Bum, bum, bum. And that's going to do it for how to create custom textures for Gray Road's graphic tee with Disciple3D and JD Strider.
Right on, man.
All right.
Have a good one.
Keep it Canadian. I'll talk to you soon.
You bet.
All right. Goodbye, fair listeners.